If you're thinking about buying a radar detector, there's one thing you need to know. Long range doesn't mean much if your detector is constantly screaming at every automatic door and driver assisted system around you. So today, I'm testing out the Cobra RAD or RAD, Cobra RAD 390, a radar and laser detector that promises long range detection, improved false alert filtering, and front and rear laser detection, adjustable sensitivity, and even future firmware updates. But here's the big question I want to answer today. Is the Cobra RAD 390 actually worth buying, or are you better off spending more money on a higher end radar detector? Stick around to the end, because after we go through the features, the setup, and what I like and don't like about it, I'll give you my final answer. And if you enjoy straightforward product reviews where I actually break down what you're getting before you spend your hard-earned money on it, hit that subscribe button. I review all kinds of products, tools, electronics, outdoor gear, and everyday items to help you decide what's actually worth buying. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's check out the Cobra RAD 390. Here's my first impressions. Right out of the box, one thing I like is that the Cobra gives you basically everything you need to get this thing installed and running. It's really plug and play. You get the RAD 390 itself, a USB-C power cord, and a USB-C cigarette lighter adapter right here, and the windshield mounting system. And the Cobra has actually updated the mounting system on its detector. Instead of just having a traditional suction cup setup, you have a secure adhesive mount with a detachable bracket and an adjustable angle. I really like that. The adjustable angle is important because where and how you mount a radar detector can affect visibility and potentially its performance. Once you find the position you like, you can angle the detector appropriately while keeping it secure. Let me go ahead and turn this on. Cobra also includes static cling film to help with the installation. But obviously, what matters most isn't what comes in the box. It's how well this thing detects signals. One of the biggest selling points of the RAD 390 is its long range detection. Ideally, you don't want your radar detector alerting you when you're already right on top of the radar source. You want an early warning to tell you that cop is up the road up ahead. That's really the entire point. And Cobra has equipped the RAD 390 with updated technology designed to give you that earlier notification. But there's a problem that modern radar detectors have to deal with, and that's older detectors didn't have much trouble with. And these are packed with more technology. You got blind spot monitoring system, collision avoidance systems, adaptive cruise control, and all kinds of other electronics sending out signals. And those signals can potentially cause false alerts. That's why filtering has become extremely important with radar detectors. The RAD 390 uses Cobra's next generation updatable IVT filter along with advanced anti-false triggering. The idea is to help the detector distinguish between signals you actually want and to know about and signals coming from other vehicles and systems around you. And personally, I think this is one of the most important things to consider when buying any radar detector on the market, because imagine having a detector that technically has fantastic range, but it goes off constantly. So aggravating. Eventually, what are you going to do? You're probably going to start ignoring the radar detector, right? And once you start ignoring your radar detector, you've defeated the entire purpose of actually owning one. So I like that Cobra has put a lot of emphasis on reducing unnecessary alerts. Now, of course, no radar detector is going to magically eliminate every false alert in every situation. Your environment, your surrounding vehicles, and settings can all affect what you're going to experience. But intelligent filtering can make a big difference in making a detector more usable during everyday driving. Another feature that caught my attention is what Cobra calls laser eye technology. The RAD 390 is designed to detect laser signals coming from both the front and the rear of your vehicle. Now, that's an important distinction. You don't necessarily want detection limited to what's happening directly in front of you, do you? You want it in front and the back. The idea behind laser eye is to give you more complete coverage by monitoring laser signals from both directions. Now, I do want to make an important distinction here. Laser detection is not the same thing as laser jamming. This detector is designed to alert you to laser signals. It isn't claiming to prevent a laser device from getting a reading. That's something you should understand before purchasing any radar or laser detector. You want to know that. Another major feature is digital signal processing, or DSP. Basically, the RAD 390 is designed to quickly process incoming signals and determine when it needs to alert you. And speed does matter. Every second counts when it comes to an early warning. We all know that. The faster the detector can identify and process an incoming signal, the sooner it can potentially notify you. Cobra specifically designed the RAD 390 DSP to provide faster processing and rapid, accurate alerts. Combined with the long-range detection, that's really what you're looking for. Detect the signal, process it quickly, and alert the driver as early as possible. Now, here's a feature I think a lot of people will appreciate. You can adjust the sensitivity and filtering, because how I want my radar detector configured while driving through a busy city might be completely different from how I want it configured while driving down a rural interstate. In an area with a lot of businesses, vehicles, traffic systems, and electronics, there are more opportunities for unwanted alerts. That's where additional filtering can become useful. But maybe you're out on the open highway and your primary concern is maximum detection range. The RAD 390 allows you to adjust the detector based on those situations. And there's even an extreme mode. I love this. The extreme mode is essentially for someone who says, I want maximum coverage and range, and give me the alerts. So instead of Cobra forcing everybody to use the exact same sensitivity level, you got some control over how the detector behaves. And I really, really like that. Think about the number of sensors around you when you're driving today. A newer SUV passes you on the road. Another vehicle is sitting beside you with blind spot monitoring. You're driving past a shopping center with the automatic doors. Then another vehicle comes up behind you with its own driver assistance technology. A radar detector has to operate in that environment. That's why I wouldn't judge a modern detector based strictly on how far away it can detect something. I would also ask this: how livable is this detector every single day? Because if I take a 3-hour road trip, I don't want something making unnecessary noise every few minutes. That's where Cobra's IVT filtering and adjustable sensitivity could potentially make the RAD 390 much more practical for everyday use. There's another feature here that I think is easy to overlook, and a lot of people don't think about it, but it's firmware updates. Technology does change. Vehicles change. Driver assistance systems, they change too. And the electronic environment surrounding your vehicle continues to change day in and day out, month in and month out. So Cobra designed the RAD 390 to take advantage of ongoing firmware updates. That's important because instead of the detector being permanently stuck with the software it's shipped with, Cobra can provide software support and improvements over time as time goes on. That potentially gives the detector better longevity. I really like that they included firmware updates. If I'm spending my money on electronics, I would much rather buy something that has the ability to receive future software improvements than something that's permanently frozen on day one. Installation should be pretty straightforward. You find the appropriate location on your windshield just like I did that complies with the laws where you're driving and doesn't interfere with your visibility. Install the mounting system, and then you can adjust the detector on the proper angle that you like on your windshield. You connect your USB-C power cable, you plug the USB-C cigarette lighter in adapter into your vehicle, and you're ready to configure your detector. I also like seeing the USB-C here. We're seeing USB-C become the standard on more and more electronics, so it's nice to see Cobra moving in that direction. My truck actually has a USB-C slot for this. The detachable mounting system should also make it easier when you want to remove the detector without completely removing the mount. That's very, very nice. That's useful if you're parking somewhere and you don't want to leave an electronic device visible inside the vehicle. Or if a police officer pulls you over and you want to pull it down real quick so they don't make fun of you. So who do I think the Cobra RAD 390 makes the most sense for? I think it's going to appeal primarily to someone looking for a modern radar detector without immediately jumping into the most expensive premium options. Maybe you drive a lot for work, or maybe you spend hours on the interstate. I have some friends that do that. They drive a lot. Maybe you take frequent road trips, or maybe you simply want better awareness of radar and laser signals around your vehicle. The combination of long-range detection, false alert filtering, front and rear laser detection, DSP, adjustable sensitivity, extreme mode, and firmware updates give you a pretty substantial feature set. And Cobra isn't exactly a newcomer in this category either. They've been around for years. The company has actually been around more than 50 years in the vehicle technology experience, and the RAD 390 is engineered and supported in the United States of America. Now, this is what I like. There are several things that really stand out to me about this. First is the balance between range and filtering. You know, I want good detection range, but I also don't want endless false alerts. So annoying when that happens. Second is the front and rear laser eye detection. And third is the adjustable sensitivity. I really like being able to change how aggressive the detector is depending on where I'm driving. Fourth is the updated mounting system. And finally, I like the ability to receive firmware updates. So cool. That might not be the flashiest feature in the box, but it could become one of the most valuable features over the long term. Now, there are a couple of things I would keep in mind before purchasing. No radar detector guarantees that you're going to receive an alert in every situation. Radar and laser enforcement can operate in different ways, and laser in particular can be extremely targeted. So don't look at a radar detector as some magical device that makes you immune from speeding tickets, okay? It's a driver awareness tool. Remember that. You are still responsible for your speed, your driving, and the following applicable traffic laws, okay? Any radar detector laws can vary depending on the vehicle type and where you're driving. So check the laws that apply to you before installing or using one. In the state that I'm in, it's legal to have one of these. So is the Cobra RAD 390 worth buying? All right, let's answer that question that I asked at the beginning. Is the Cobra RAD 390 actually worth buying, or should you spend more money on a higher end detector? Because they're out there. Based on this feature set, I think the RAD 390 makes a lot of sense for someone who wants a good combination of range, modern false alert filtering, adjustability, laser detection, and future software support without automatically moving into the highest price category. What really makes it an interest to me isn't just one feature. It's the combination of features that this Cobra has on it. You got long range detection, you got the updated IVT filter, and you got front and rear laser eye detection. You've also got fast digital signal processing, and you've got adjustable sensitivity and filtering. You also got the extreme mode when you want maximum coverage. You got the updated mounting system, which I really love, and you got firmware updates to help keep the detector current year in and year out. If those are the features you're looking for, the Cobra RAD 390 is definitely one I would put on your list to consider. Just remember, use it as an additional awareness tool, not as a reason to ignore the speed limit, guys. Don't be going 100 miles an hour. And if this video helped you decide whether the Cobra RAD 390 is right for you, hit that subscribe button before you leave. Like I said, I review products like this to help you figure out what's worth your money and what's not before you buy. So thank you, Cobra, for sending this out to me as a gift so I can give my honest opinion on it. I've been driving around with this thing for 3 months now, and it has helped me detect some lasers around me from getting out of a speeding ticket. So I try not to speed, but every now and then you might go 5 to 10 miles over, and that will tell you, hey, slow it down just a little bit and obey the laws. So thank you, Cobra, for sending it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.